Hello everyone, my dear friends and subscribers. Now I have brought you a topic called as emotional parasitism, which is there everywhere in this world in most of the families, societies. The most important thing is the people have to identify whether it is there or not. If it is ignored, then you are in a cyclic trap. Now I explain about this emotional parasitism. I request you listen full video. And emotional parasitism, it is one of the most dangerous and invisible psychological traps that can slowly destroy a child from within, starting from childhood and continuing throughout life if not recognized and broken. Imagine a parent who doesn't physically hurt you, the child, but uses emotions as a weapon, constantly making the child feel guilty, helpless, and responsible for the parent's happiness, problems, or suffering. This is emotional parasitism. It usually begins in families where one or both parents develop a victim mindset, saying things like, I sacrificed everything for you, because of you, I stayed in this toxic situation. They blame the child. These words are not spoken with love, but with the intention to blind the child emotionally, and the child, not knowing any better, starts believing that they owe their entire life to repay the parents' suffering. The child doesn't realize it's not love, it's emotional debt, and it grows heavier every day in the child. These parents, knowingly or unknowingly, start conditioning their children to serve the parents' emotions. Every achievement of the child becomes less important than the parents' emotional comfort. The parent will say, "What is the use of your success if I am alone and suffering here?" The parent don't want the child to grow; they want the child to orbit around the parents' needs forever. This is how emotional parasitism begins, not with abuse but the guilt. Now, the tactics used by emotional parasite parents are very specific and repetitive. So there is one most important thing is called guilt tripping and is constant. The parent says things like, everyone abandons me and you too, you have changed after meeting those friends, making the child feel like a betrayer just for living their own life. The parent maintains a strong victim identity. The parent will never take responsibility for their actions. If someone goes wrong, if the child fault. If the parent is unhappy, it's the child's failure. The parent uses a withdrawal of affection as punishment. If the child doesn't follow what the parent says, the parent goes silent, acts sick, or even cries, not because they are hurt, but because they want the child to come running back, apologizing, and obeying. The parent uses comparison as a weapon. See your cousin. He built a house for his parents. You did nothing. This comparison is a trap. It kills the child's confidence and creates lifelong pressure. The parent creates a fear of abandonment. They say things like, "After I die, you will regret this," or "When I am gone, no one will love you like I did." These are not words of love. These are tools of emotional blackmail. And when these dialogues repeat over years, the child becomes a psychological prisoner. From the outside, everything looks normal. A caring parent and a good child, like this it will seems like but inside it's a cycle of emotional slavery. The child becomes afraid of saying no. The child starts to believe love means sacrifice. They can't form healthy relationships because they are always trying to please or serve others. Even if the child grows up, earns money, or lives away, the child mind is still controlled by the parent's voice. You are selfish, simply. You are dishonest, you are ungrateful. These thoughts become permanent like a second skin. This entire setup is a well designed trap. The parent mixes care with control, love with guilt, help with helplessness, and the child, out of love, doesn't recognize it. So he is completely dipped in the love. Over time, emotionally parasitic parents becomes experts at manipulating their children. They learn what dialogue affects the child the most. They notice how to use sickness, silence, or sentiment to bring the child back under control. And the biggest lie emotionally parasitic parents tell is, "After us, all this will be yours." They make the child feel like you are working for their failure, when in fact the child is just serving the parents' emotional needs. In this way, the parent hijacks the child's youth, child's mouth, child's energy, child's freedom, and even child's relationships. These parents don't care if the child is depressed or burnt out. As long as the child is emotionally available for the parent's needs, the parent is satisfied. The long term damage is brutal. Children from such households grow up into adults with severe identity issues. They don't know what they really want. They feel selfish for dreaming. They sabotage their own success, and even in failure relationships, they either become emotional parasites themselves or end up with someone similar. Because the toxic pattern feels familiar, it's a cycle. And the hardest part, there are usually no exit. There is usually no exit. Why? Because it's family. Society says respect your parents. Culture says respect your elders. Says serve your elders. But no one tells you what to do when your parents are destroying you emotionally. So the child says The child stays, suppresses the pain, convinces themselves this is my duty, but deep inside the soul starts dying. Now, breaking this cycle doesn't mean being disrespectful, it means drawing boundaries for yourself. It means the child stops reacting to manipulation. The child says, I love you, but I will not allow emotional blackmail. The child recognizes that love without freedom is not love, it's control. The child must accept that their life has equal value and they were not born to be someone else's emotional crutch. And most importantly, the child must heal. Talk to someone, express what could be expressed as a child, forgive not for the parents but to free yourself, but to free the self also. Emotional parasitism is real, it's dangerous, it's invisible, but it can be broken with awareness, with courage, with understanding that true love never demands your identity in exchange for affection. Recognize it, speak about it, free yourself, and help others to do the same. The most important thing is the living generation of the child have to know about their parents through this article, and I want everyone to listen this and find whether you are the victim of the emotional parasitism. Find yourself, change yourself, have lead a better life in the society. Ignore yourself, don't ignore yourself, and share this video to your nearest one who you want to give some message. Thank you for listening the complete video. Subscribe my channel, stay alive in the channel. Thank you one and all.